Some stories pull you in gently, wrapping you in warmth and comfort. Others grab you by the collar and throw you into the deep end, making you question everything you thought you knew. The books I'm about to share with you, they fall into the second category. They are the kind of stories that make you pause, reread, and doubt your own instincts. They twist reality, distort memories, and leave you wondering, who can you really trust? The unease creeps in slowly at first. You think you have a grasp on the story, on the characters, on what's about to happen. Then, just when you start to settle in, the ground shifts beneath you. Have you ever had that strange, creeping feeling that something isn't quite right? That moment when your mind tells you one thing, but deep down your gut screams something different? These books don't just tell stories. They play with your thoughts, twist your perceptions, and leave you questioning everything you believed was real. I don't think I've ever second-guessed myself more than when I read them. They force you to lean in, to doubt, to wonder if what you're seeing, what you're understanding, is even the truth at all. And the worst part? You don't even realize how deep you are until it's too late. There's a certain magic in books that make you uncomfortable. Not horror, not outright terror, but that slow-burning dread that creeps in like a fog you didn't notice settling around you. That's exactly what happened to me with The House in the Pines by Ana Reyes. At first, I thought I knew what I was reading, a story about a girl trying to figure out what really happened to her best friend. But then things started to shift. Maya's memories don't line up, and it's not just because of time. It's something else, something that makes you wonder how much of what she's saying is even true. The more I read, the more uneasy I felt. Every turn of the page, every new revelation, I was convinced I was onto something, and then, bam, the book would pull the ground from under me. The feeling of slowly losing control, of trying to grasp onto something real but having it slip through your fingers. That's what this book did to me. And the scariest part was realizing that memory isn't as solid as we think it is. How much of what we remember is actually real? The House in the Pines made me confront that in a way I never expected. And if you love this kind of suspenseful storytelling, don't forget to ring that bell, like and subscribe to Book Ginger. You don't want to miss out on more thrilling recommendations like these. Then there's Cassandra in Reverse by Holly Smale. This one had me completely trapped in an endless loop of mistakes. Imagine waking up every day with the ability to go back and redo your mistakes. It sounds like a dream, right? Until you realize that every time you go back, things don't get better, they get messier. Cassandra is this painfully relatable character because who hasn't wished they could change something? But the way this book plays with time, the way it turns the idea of second chances into something twisted, something that feels more like a trap than an opportunity, it got under my skin. I found myself anxious, turning pages faster than I could absorb the words, feeling my own frustration mirror Cassandra's. The more she tried to fix things, the worse they got. And by the time I thought I had a grip on where it was going, it hit me with something I never saw coming. There's something so human about the fear of making the wrong choice, of not being able to fix what's broken. That fear pulses through every page of this book, making it impossible to put down. But if we're talking about books that truly shook me, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang is in a league of its own. This book made me angry. It made me uncomfortable. And yet, I couldn't stop reading. It's about June, a writer who steals the work of her deceased friend, Athena, and publishes it as her own. But this isn't just a story about theft. It's a psychological descent into guilt, deception, and the terrifying ease with which a person can justify the unjustifiable. What horrified me most wasn't just what June did. It was how she convinced herself that she deserved it, that she wasn't really stealing, that maybe, just maybe, she was the victim. And the worst part? I caught myself almost believing her at times. That's how masterfully this book messes with your head. You want to hate her, but you also understand her, and that's what makes it truly unsettling. There were moments I had to put the book down, step away, and remind myself to breathe. It's that intense. And when the truth starts closing in on June, the anxiety is suffocating. You're right there with her, feeling the walls closing in, waiting for everything to collapse. And then there's A Likeable Woman, Finally, by May Cobb, a book that had me so deep in its world, I forgot reality existed. This one is about Kira, who returns to her hometown only to find herself drowning in the secrets of her past. She starts reading her late mother's unpublished memoir, and suddenly everything she thought she knew is ripped apart. Small towns have a way of burying things, but they also have a way of never letting go of their ghosts. I felt the weight of every secret, the way the town whispered behind closed doors, the way the past clung to Kira like a shadow she couldn't shake. The tension was unbearable. Every page felt like peeling back another layer of something rotten, something festering. And by the time the final revelation hit, I was breathless. Because it wasn't just about the mystery, it was about the people, about the lies they tell, about how history has a way of repeating itself when the truth is never really faced. These books don't just tell stories, they get under your skin. They make you question the world around you. They stay with you long after you've turned the last page. They reminded me that the scariest things aren't monsters or ghosts, the secrets we keep, the lies we tell ourselves, and the way the mind can twist reality into something unrecognizable. If you're looking for books that will leave you shaken, that will keep you awake at night long after the last page, these are the ones. But be warned. Once you step into these worlds, there's no going back. Because some stories don't just stay on the page, they follow you, whispering in the back of your mind, making you wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's more to your own reality than you ever realized. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for Book Ginger. Stay tuned for more mind-blowing book recommendations that will keep you on the edge of your seat. See you in the next one.